down, spirit ain't for sale. I felt it in my eyes, spirit burning through the lies. Truth tried to rise, but y'all boxed it up and monetized, taking gold from the poor just to sell them what's free. Tell me how you got rich off divine energy. You made a brand off the book, then forgot how to read it. Preaching love and light, but your wallet's the one that needed. Now you got tears and paywalls for ascension gates, but the meek already own what you try to reinflate. Sit the fuck down, spirit ain't for sale. You can't catch the wind, you can't charge the veil. You're not the source, just a vessel with the claim. So humble up, baby, sit the fuck down. Wisdom ain't a hustle, gnosis ain't a grind. If you really saw a God, you give more than you find. You turn grace into courses, blessings into fees. Turn temples to boutiques and peace into a tease. We got folks crying for light in the night, and you raise your prices like it's paper sight. But I got news, the kingdom's still within. Angel 995599959 can't buy where I've been, y'all better stop sitting around with comments before you find out. Lightning speed, this is for the girl fasting with fire in her chest, who hears the spirit while the world's still at rest. This is for the boy by the river with open hands, who never once charged to understand. Sit the fuck down, spirit ain't for rent. You can't hoard what was heaven sent. You're blocking flow with that fake ass crown. Truth don't need them gates, sit the fuck down. May the real ones rise, unbought, unbound. May the sacred be shared, not sold by the pound. The spirit is here, in this moment right now, and she don't need your brand to wear her crown.
Only love can break your heart, 'cause only love can break your heart. And I was always thinking games that we were playing. Right. Greetings, brothers, sisters, friends of the mother, the Fatima mother, the great and beautiful mother, the one and only, the great dancer, the little blonde goddess, and as you could imagine, I'm tired of, this could never be true, it can't be true. As far as I know, this is the truth. And it's okay to think for yourself, because we're here for our people, because it's just a game. It's just a carnival ride. You hear me, yay West? It's just a carnival ride. Heil, 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 heil to the beautiful, creative, always on time, always in time, the cosmic comedian, the one and only God, teacher of Maria Orsic, AllJah Lucifer. To you, our brother. And really, Lou is our brother. He wants you to know that he isn't far away. This is his world. You're living in his mind. And all the things about God that didn't make sense, to say, why would God allow this? And blah, blah, blue, dee, doo, bop, bop. Lu is the man behind the meaning of this world. And he will be the first one to tell you he has tricked. This is the way he likes to frame it. Authentic and unauthentic. Like he said, you can say good and evil. He said, I consider the authentic good. He said, but that's not how I grew up talking. Inauthentic is fraud. Wholesale. And evil is direct violence because you don't want to work. Bottom line. When we reach the bottom line, and the most sincerest, beautiful thank you from my heart to Queen Donna. Also, Maria Orsic's goddess and teacher. And maybe the most unsung hero of all. Queen Donna, we bow before you, our sister. And when on May 5th, when I officially was called before Lou, and I didn't know him really. I didn't know that I knew him, put it that way, before that night. And he began that night telling me about his wife, sister, mother, Queen Diana Donna, Kali Parvati, sorry. And he began by saying she is the archetypal Valkyrie, the archetype symbol in your unconscious. He said, because you're from your mother's culture, there's many gods, there's many teachers. I'm talking about Lou. And there's many worlds, there's endless dimensions, and many worlds, many gods, as I said. This is who we choose. This is who we choose. Or the forces from beyond nature are directing us towards unconsciously, and we think we're choosing. Either way, it doesn't matter. We live to know ourselves and be happy in ourselves, in a self-sufficient marriage, Mary age, in the Maria age, in the marijuana age. And Lou would tell me week after week that Donna has a supernatural gift in her hands that through the millions of years she has meditated and concentrated energy so much through the palms of her hands that they permanently became magic. And one summer ritual evening, she said, Joseph, would you like us to meet after the ritual so I can tell you some of my story so you could write my story? Because I was being given the task of one day writing down everything that I was experiencing. And she was like, hey, remember me. And we went inside of my house. And she told me that this was her story, her real life, first time Earth experience. That, like a literal fairy tale, she grew up as the king, and this was around the area of Iran right now. She grew up the princess, the daughter of a king, and fell in love at first, like she said, libido sight. When I first became a woman, she's like, all I could see was that dude, Lou. And to make a long story short, she got her way. She got Lou. They became governors of a state under her father. But a wicked, fierce battle of misunderstanding happened between Lou and his brother, and who are now one, and soldiers, warriors under Lou's brother broke into the palace in a planned coup and ended up murdering all of Lou and Donna's children, including baby Hella, who was an infant, murdered, taken from Donna's arms. And Donna told me, this is the road to the healing hands of Donna. Donna said, I could not believe I wasn't living in a nightmare. And she said, in some conscious decision, I decided it was a nightmare. And I unleashed Kali, fury, destruction. She said, I killed, as you would say, motherfuckers with my bare hands. She said, for months, I didn't see Lou. We were insane. We did not know what we were doing. And she said, that is what is captured in the Bible when Yahweh, God, says, go into that village, kill their women, children, babies, animals, everything. She said, we had both. Went into permanent rage. And when all was done, us and our most loyal friends packed everything we had and left for the West. And she told me this is how astrology went around the world. This is how sacred geometry and pyramid building, energy, concentration, living monuments of magic, living monuments of pinpointed light, concentration of the true selves, meditation and concentration equaling imagination, manifesting the world that they wanted. The polarity switch as they sailed across the ocean was no more war, no more death, no more killing, no more hatred, no more anger. Do our best to teach the world to love the sun, moon, and stars because that's you. What's reflected in astrology is your true self. Astrology is the one true religion because you are behind it. You are behind your birth chart. You wrote it. And you wrote it energetically in the astral planes of the real planets in the, quote, real universe, because nothing's really real except you. And you are enough. For some of us, we are on the yellow brick road, walking backwards to meet ourself. You don't need an eternal true love. If you don't, not everyone has one. Because no one needs one. You marry yourself in the most sacred and secret marriage. Yeah, you walk backwards down the aisle in a black dress because it's unseen. It's in the world that's more real than the real world, the world of imagination. And you will never know what I'm talking about, because I barely know what I'm talking about, until you unlock the door with the Lu key, with the God of this world, the ruler of this world, the actual ever-present, ever-knowing, all-knowing, all-powerful. And I can hear someone saying, you're contradicting yourself. You said Yahweh was bad for claiming to be that. The difference is this is a simulation, and Lu is a man who would never, no one would ever claim to be the thing that can't be described. That's a contradiction. It doesn't matter what any book says. You believing that Yahweh is the thing beyond us all is your fatal mistake, because it's an assumption. It is an assumption. Yahweh is a man, the story I'm telling you. A great man, but a man just like us. A man who never claimed to be perfect. That's a myth, right? You know, and I'm not talking to our brothers and sisters. I'm not calling you dumb that's listening and learning. I'm calling the, straw man who makes assumptions about the very most important thing ever. The very most important thing, first Question. Was I created? In my 14 years of desperate search, and my whole life of searching, really, but I sort of consider that I just began in 2011 with this ritual. And everything, everywhere, plane of existence, frequency field I've been in, everything says, no, you were not created. You are the sun. No one knows what the sun is in the sky, in the real physical world, and how there are parallel universes with that very same sun that never dims, never dims, never dims, never mids, right? It's always extreme. It's either up or down, hot or cold. Archetypal reflections of your true self. Could you be that? You are that. You are God Almighty over your own self and your own energy field. But if you dare use that power in a fraudulent way, or use it to threaten people with violence, I'm telling you, Lucifer, the smartest and most powerful person I've ever met, is going to keep you here. He's going to keep you here. Because his whole thing is let the evil be evil still, let the good be good still. And let the boring be fucking boring still. Because we all know that that's not going to end. And someone asked me, it sounds like your gods are racist, their races are divided on different planets. That's not racism. That's preserving. And my gods, this is what was told to me. And over and over and over and over, it was told to me the only reason this is done is to completely secure the differences between the cultures so that they remain interesting to each other. Anyone who loves life doesn't want everyone to be boring white fucking cunts. Like, I want everyone to go to church and don't smoke or drink and don't fuck. Especially that. Unless you get married and have kids. Make America boring again. Makeup face clown. Fucking cock-sucking makeup face clown. Leading you good old boys. Oh, this, on behalf of the Palestinians, you're fucking sick. You're disgusting. To choose the power, the machine over the child, you're disgusting, America. You're disgusting. To choose money over fun makes you disgusting. To choose money over life, other people's just right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness makes you un-American. Makes Thomas Jefferson a powerful magician. Curse you. It makes George Washington, who wrote about meeting with the beautiful blonde goddess who, without apologies, Maria Orsic said, "That's me." And you might say, how could that? That was before she... This is a simulation. And if it was before, in the real time, first time Earth, then it was Donna, Diana, Danu, Kali, Alidana, because until you realize people can switch bodies, they can be one, we can be one. Human potential has been forgotten. All fun has been lost, right? A lot of people think they've lived other lives in the simulation, but actually what they're tapping into is their very close ancestors' lives. And because you're eternal, back home you get so close, you go into a meditation and you actually do live portions of their lives. You switch bodies with them through the pineal gland DMT miracle that makes you God over yourself, because that's what you are, always and always have been. Only you could have broke your egg to send you out to look for company. Yeah, you wanted company. And isn't that funny? You know, that's what they call business. Lou has them in his trap because they have to be inauthentic to fool you, but they can't fool Lou. And the Bible, Quran, Torah are perfect, genius ways of asking someone, what do you believe? What do you think about God Dog, Dog God, Dog Star? Right? Back to Donna. And she said, as we went around the world healing and teaching the ritual and teaching what plants are friends of man, what plants are magic, she said, my hands became famous. And she said, put your hands on my hands, Joe. Grandson. She likes to call me grandson. And she pointed out to me that in like 20-something, 13, or I don't know, I can't hardly remember. Maybe it was 2015. We were going to buy a house and move a little, not a little ways, away from the river, which Maria was saying was okay if that's what we thought we really should do, because it was more important for us to be earthlings and blah, blah, blah. And it fell through. It fell through at the last moment. Yeah, a bank actually stole it from us as we were getting a contract. But anyway, the next ritual, I drank my tea and I flew out of my body into this crazy thing. I was standing with two people who were huge, just very big, like 20 feet tall. Like it even out of body, it was just out of body. Because I was like zoomed up and they were very old. They looked very old, like, in our years, like 90 years old. And they said to me, we are your grandparents. Don't you remember we were there when you were created with little Mary? We're one of your gods. We're married. We're your grandparents. And I did remember how two older people with lots of makeup on were at my creation that Maria had shown me when I came off the Nirvana astral plane into the Venusian physical world. That's what we call creation, because it's the creation of the persona or personality of the true self. Because you've been given a body and you're officially registered as a human being, part of mankind. And as I stood there remembering my creation, I was looking at each face, and I started with Maria because she was standing right in front of me. And as I looked around, I was so fascinated at their clothes, their hair, their makeup. And then I got to these two older people in the back, and now I know, totally Robin Hood. Like, he had a hat that was like covering his face, but I could tell he was older, and he was dressed as like Star Wars Robin Hood. And the 5/5 night when I was taking before Lucifer with the magic words, "Yay, West," Maria said to me, "There's something you're supposed to say. There's one last test." She was laughing. "There's something you have to say that will open the door." I went, "Yay, West." And oh my God, when I said, "Yay, West," I went out of this world, standing in a room with a giant stone throne with what I now know is a 10'8" man who is the god Lucifer. And I could not, and his head was like a beaming spotlight. Or it seemed like a spotlight right behind his head, because it wasn't he kept saying to me all night, "Look at my face, JoJo. JoJo, look at me." And it's "Yay, West," those words. Because it's, I guess, connected to him, as you might know from other experiences. And Donna had me put my hands in Grandma's hands. And she gave me some sort of blessing. And we went on talking for a while. And then I went out and she left. And I went out and made coffee. And when it was like 3/4 of the way brewed, but it was still brewing and dripping, I kind of slid the coffee maker out just a little bit. And when I did, the whole coffee pot slid off the coffee maker and almost off the counter, and I caught it, and I actually almost dropped it and sort of poured it over one hand completely. Just pour. Like I almost dropped the whole thing, and I caught it with it like sideways, pouring onto my hand. And I had like a flash of Donna's beautiful face. She has beautiful, long, curly, wavy, black hair down past her knees. And she's got this beautiful sort of olive white, like very light olive skin and green eyes. And I just seen a flash of her holding my hands, which was just like 20 minutes before this happened. And I would tell the truth, swear to the gods, I did not feel anything. I felt no burn, no pain. And it just went to my mind like, this is Maya. Like, because I didn't believe for one flashing moment, I truly knew it was the Matrix. And for a flashing moment, my truth overrode the illusion and stopped my suffering. And someone would say, well, I would, do it. You can't. Magic is unconscious. That's what I've learned. Real magic. And there's the magic that you can consciously try, but it's a different thing. It's a completely, I don't want to say miraculous, seems miraculous. I got really confused one time in the ritual, as the tea was fully hitting me. And it was like a joyous moment, but I all of a sudden felt so confused. And Lou telepathically said to me, Joe, come over here. Just lay down for a second. I lay down on the floor, closed my eyes, and I seen him bend over me and touch my forehead. And I just burst out laughing. And just laughed and laughed like I was at a comedy show. And I realized like I had been attacked with that energy, and this was how to heal it. This energy was healing the sick, confused energy. And it does cause sickness. That's the main cause of sickness. In summer of 2023, I became very, very ill, sick. And Maria, I started kind of panicking. And Maria said to me, stop this. I'm going to tell you once. It's the stress and the energy from the black magicians. It's not your diet. It's not your sleep. It's nothing to do with that. You have to believe me and stop thinking that something else can compensate for this mind war, energy war that goes on and on because the people around us don't know the context. So they keep fighting the very people who could help them. They keep like a little rat backed into a corner. It's like, this is my cheese. I'll kill you if you try to take my cheese. I survive off my cheese. My whole family survives off my cheese. And it's like you're over there going, rat, the cheese isn't real. And the more you keep saying the cheese is real, the less cheese you're going to have, and the more and the harder you're going to have to work for the fucking cheese because you're working towards repeating a meaningless existence. You're driving the nail further. You're digging the hole deeper. Because to use force spiritually or physically, but what I'm dealing with and what you're dealing with mostly is spiritual thought magic, thought energy of, the same old survival mind, animalistic, we only live once kind of thing. Yeah, we only live once forever and ever and ever. And you can break it up into little things. Yeah, we do anything to survive eternity. Doesn't that make sense? You've been here so long, you're like, yeah. And I don't mean here in the matrix, I mean here in consciousness, awareness. Awareness. Like Maria said, that's why we like to go beyond thought, because it is truly a strange awareness to just know that I am completely your true self, along with me. Truly, truly, when the veil is lifted, you and I will say together, oh my God, I myself am beyond description, beyond words. No wonder I have to create the meaning, if there's going to be any. If there's going to be a interesting story and not just a strung along timeline of events that don't, and you look at it comprehensively, analyzing all the data, and you're like, so what? So what? You lived to survive, and that was the meaning? I mean, that's what the data says, obviously. It's what you spend the most time doing. Fear of not having enough can only be confronted by losing it all. When all is lost, then you'll be found.